The numbers tell a story of progress. In Lucas County, 223 people died from overdoses in 2024, down 28% from the year before. Fentanyl-related deaths dropped even more dramatically, 41%. And through this September, there have been 65 overdose deaths in Lucas County, a major drop from recent years.
2-3 years ago, we were in double digits. We were anywhere between 12 and 20 deaths a month. Now we're seeing 7, 8 a month.
And behind these numbers are real people fighting for their lives every day. People like Samantha McFarland, who knows exactly how close she came to becoming one of those statistics.
It was a Vicodin, and I remember that day like yesterday. I was in the back seat of a car with friends, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, I wonder when it's gonna kick in.
But it did kick in, and she liked the feeling a lot.
So my brain, 72 tabs open all the time. And when I took that Vicodin, my brain went quiet, and I really liked that.
Her addiction spiraled quickly. She began crossing off what she calls her list of nevers.
Like, I come from a good family and a good city and a good school, whatever. And then each time that I would go back out or relapse, I would cross off one of those nevers. Like, I'll never steal, I'll never use a needle, I'll never do heroin.
Her lowest moment came with her young son in the car. An overdose she doesn't even remember.
Getting the drugs with my son in the backseat, went to this extremely unsafe place with the most precious thing I have, to the house. I got the drugs over off the Greenbelt area, and memory stops there. I did the drugs there, and I was woken up on Sylvania Avenue.
That's where Deputy Sean McMahon and the Lucas County Sheriff's Drug Abuse Response Team, known as DART, entered her life and changed her life. So one of the angles of this story is that overdoses have gone down significantly in Lucas County. I don't know if you have any thoughts on why that might be. Do you have any thoughts on why?
I absolutely do, yeah, because of programs like DART.
I think that it's just her determination and drive. I think she finally just came to a place in life where she was tired of being tired and just put her mind to it.
In an era of tight budget, DART is still a crucial player in the Sheriff's Department's efforts to bring down overdoses.
We don't give up on people. We've had people go through treatment 7, 10, 12 times before it finally hit home for them, and now they're very successful.
The decline in overdose deaths didn't happen by accident. It's been a coordinated effort across Lucas County. From DART and other law enforcement, firefighters, mental health agencies, and the Lucas County Health Department. Experts, however, warn that the progress is fragile and the battle is far from over. But experts also warn that the drug fight is shifting. Todd Crandall founded Racing for Recovery after getting sober in 1993. And he says while fentanyl deaths are down, other drugs are reemerging. But the root cause of addiction remains the same: unresolved trauma.
Now we're seeing the return of the stimulants with methamphetamine, cocaine, alcohol and weed are pretty consistent. But for me, looking at it from a sadness standpoint, 99% of this stuff is unresolved trauma that still people are choosing whatever substance to cope with that trauma.
Crandall and others agree addicts don't want to be addicts. There is a reason for the addiction.
We can't tell people just quit doing that. That's not going to work. I think we've figured that out, hopefully, at this stage of the game. What we can do is educate people, provide a different way of looking at drug treatment, if you will, that people don't want to do drugs. I haven't wanted to drink or do drugs since April 15th of 1993.
Maj Steffen is the supervisor of injury prevention at the Lucas County Health Department. She says Narcan and other assistance the agency provides is bringing down deaths, but she isn't declaring victory.
Is this a true decrease because the problem is starting to become solved, or we're working towards solutions, or is this a decrease because this is what normal would look like from pre-COVID-19 days? We know a lot of things that we do are working, but we know there's a lot of work left to be done.
When you have somebody who goes
Now, Lieutenant Reed says the key to continued progress is keeping people alive long enough to find recovery.
Our job is not to determine whether this person has decided to check out or not. Our job is to keep them living long enough for them to make those appropriate decisions or change their lifestyle so that they can have a fruitful and happy, healthy life.
Every so often, Lieutenant Reed updates his heat map, tracking overdoses and deaths across the county. The data reveals a troubling trend. Addiction is no longer concentrated in East Toledo. It's spread everywhere. Suburban neighborhoods, rural areas, wealthy zip codes, and even downtown. The maps tell a story Reed knows all too well. Addiction doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care about your income, your race, or where you live. It's a reality that hit devastatingly close to home for Lieutenant Rogers.
December 6, 2021 will be a night that I will never forget. I received a phone call from my daughter's grandmother that her mother had passed away from fentanyl overdose. And that's what I really like to drive home, is the ripple effect. She had never overdosed prior to this. Her story started out, like so many others unfortunately, from a severe work injury and led to some substance use.
But some people are success stories. Samantha's sobriety date is August 31st, 2022.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
She now works in recovery at Vital Health, helping others find the hope she almost lost. So what's the first thing you say to somebody that says, I'm not worthy, I'm just not worthy, you're not going to be able to save me?
I'm not interested in saving you, but I know that feeling you have right now of not feeling worthy. What worked for me was I didn't believe a lick of what I said, because I wasn't very trustworthy, so my brain didn't believe me. So if you can just do me a favor and believe me for a second and know that you are worthy.
If you or someone you know needs help with addiction, DART can be reached at 419-213-6582. The crisis care line is 419-904-2273. Reporting in Toledo, this is Brian Duggar for 11 Investigates.